A lot of times we can find ourselves in a dark space, and being in a dark space, you got a lot of clouded judgment, and you start to not believe in yourself. You start to doubt the steps that you took, the risks that you take, and when you're in that dark place, that's when you really find out who you is and what you really need to work on. When you're in that dark place, you start to forget about all the progress that you made in the past and all of the big steps that you took to get to where you is right now. Even if it don't look like you made it nowhere, it's the fact that you tried and the fact that you still going. But when you in that dark place, it's like you don't want to keep moving. It's like you just want to stop. That's when you at a big pause in life, and everything start to feel like it's crashing down, and everything start to irritate you because you're not seeing the changes that you desire. You're not seeing the changes that you want. But you gotta understand. I had to understand myself, even on the days that's dark, that when you feeling those emotions, you gotta feel those emotions. You can't run from them. You can't try to find ways to cope with that feeling because no matter what, it'll always come back around. So I learned that whenever you in that dark place and you in those dark moments in your life, you gotta be able to find the things that you grateful for and look at the things that's going good in your life. The fact that you got breath going in your lungs, and the fact that it could be anything else. The fact that you woke up, or just the fact of anything. The fact that you able to know that you in a dark place. It all start with trying to find the brighter things in that dark moment and overpower the darkness. It's easy for you to stay down and mope and cry all day and not do anything about your situation, but it's the moment when you push aside the darkness and you still go out there and try. You know, it give you that motivation inside. The motivation of, man, is either I'ma get it or I'ma die trying. And that's the type of attitude that we always gotta have in life. We gonna get it or we gonna die trying. So every day that you get up and you trying to push for success or push to be a better you or push to be in a better situation, you gotta have that motivation that you gonna make it happen. And no matter what, you gonna keep going because when you trying to do right and when you trying to better your life, when you trying to make progress, your mind can be your worst enemy. Your mind can start to hold you back because it's used to the old version of you. You gotta kill the old version of you and start making better changes. Changes that's gonna open your mind to want to go do more because it's a lot of things you can do in life and numbers don't never end. So I look at numbers like progress. Progress can never end. So the more that you go up in life and the more that you start to make better changes, there's always more good that you can do for yourself. So treat yourself like a king, treat yourself like a queen, and through darkness, I always look for the light. Cause at the end of the tunnel or in the morning from night, you're gonna see light again. You gotta look at life like that. And no matter what, just know that you're strong enough to get through anything. You're strong enough to deal with any emotion. You're strong enough to be able to push through things, push through obstacles. That's what we was built for. We was built for this type of life. We was built to make progress. We was built to grow every day. So being in a dark space is just temporary in my opinion. Being in a dark space, you ain't gotta be there forever. It's only if you choose to stay there. But I know that y'all ain't gonna stay there. I know that y'all don't wanna stay there. Nobody wanna be down. Nobody wanna struggle. Nobody wanna be in doubt. Nobody wanna have fear. But it all starts with you. When you in that moment, what changes you willing to make to change that thought process? Like I said, when you're in a dark place, we find other ways to cope. Some people like to drink, some people like to smoke, some people they just like to be down or angry. Those ain't the ways to cope. I feel like it's other ways to cope. You getting a breath of fresh air, or like I said, it can be you listening to music that motivates you. You seeing other people on social media, or you listening to podcasts that's gonna expand your mind and give you a push, give you a lift, you know? And don't get me wrong, it's a lot of us in situations where we don't got the people to talk to in our corner like we really need to. But I had to understand that myself, like, dang, I wish I had people in my corner to always push me, da 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 da. But then I had to realize, like, they got their own life too. They battling their own demons as well too. They be in dark spaces that I probably don't even know about. So everybody trying to find a way to navigate through their own life too, man. People can only be around you for so long before they gotta focus on themselves, you know? 'Cause last time I checked, I can't hold nobody else back from their life. I can't hold nobody else back from their goals, you know? So we gotta just be able to take the support that we got at times and be grateful for those moments and understand that nobody gonna always be able to hold your hand. There's gonna be times where you alone and you gotta push for you. You gotta do for you. You gotta make progress for you. You know, you can't just sit there and cry about it all day. You gotta be trying to do something, you know, and even if it don't work that day, you just gotta just know that if you keep going, you're gonna make a change. You're gonna make something shake. You're gonna make something happen. But it all start with you. But yeah, those days that you in darkness, those days that you feel like you ain't enough, that you feel like you letting people around you down, or you feel like you ain't gonna never see a change, you gotta cross that out and know that you're gonna make something shake. Know that you're gonna make something happen for you and for the people that you love, the people that you care about. And it all start with that mindset, man. We gotta get through darkness to be able to see better days. And it all start with us. It's about that moment where we believe in ourselves and we keep pushing and we try to find solutions, not just think about the problem all the time. We got to look for the solution. It's always a solution to everything. But it all starts with the mindset and how the way we view our darkness, how the way we view our problems. No matter what we going through, whenever the days that we see darkness or the days that you might feel like you ain't going to make it, you got to believe that you going to make it happen. And no matter what, you going to make it happen. Even if we die trying, no fear. It's all about progress and it's all about growth. And shout out to everybody who pushing through darkness, and shout out to the ones who want to push through darkness. It all start with you and it always start with your mindset. If something stood out in this message, keep that in your mind, and whenever you feel darkness, know that you're capable of pushing through. Love is Jig B Dolo.